Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 129 of Asinto Let's Play. So in the previous episode I finished up my farm and I've let it run for like 10 or 20 minutes so far so it can start itself, building the farm itself. You can see I've got a nice amount here and I've just applied approximately 2 stacks of bone meal, again to help it start faster, because at the moment completing a full circle is not enough time to actually let a wheat grow, so just giving it some bone meal at the moment, some manual bone meal to make sure it grows a little bit faster and the farm will reach its maximum capacity faster. Alright, so off screen I started having some plannings towards Steve's carts. I have one more plan for Steve carts that I like to do, and I actually think I should get to it first, because what I want to try and build is a mining cart for the Nether. And the thing is that for the Nether, I want to go for the maximum available, like the best available mining cart. And the thing is, from what I've seen, the assembly time of that mining cart will be really long. So I think I should really start with it as soon as possible, and then get on to other things. So let's start working towards that. So what I'm going to need is again another reinforced hull. This is pretty much again the best hull that I can get right now, so there is no really way around to get something else. So I'm going to need 5 reinforced metal and 2 wheels. And okay, I'm going to need 5 metal again, because it just used those 2. Okay. So 5 reinforced metal and 2 wheels will give me the hull itself. And what I'm going to try and build, again, as I've said, is a mining cart for the Nether. So because I'm going to go for the Nether, I only have the option of going with a coal engine. Going for a solar engine makes no sense, because in the Nether there isn't any solar power available. So let's go for coal engine, normal coal engine. Tiny coal engine, yeah, there is no need. Let's just go for a coal engine. So iron, furnaces, and piston. 2 pistons, some iron, and I'm going to make 1 furnace. So that's that. And we can actually make the engine. And for the tool, and this is where things get interesting, for the tool I'm going to go for the best available drill, which is the Galgadorian drill. And this is kind of a crazy drill. Like, if you'll see, each type of drill has some cost, like a modular cost, and you can see the Galgadorian drill has 150 modular cost. This is kind of a crazy drill. It's also extremely pricey. But I thought that if I'm already gonna go for mining in the Nether, I might just as well go for the best available thing. So let's look into it. A block of diamond is easy to get. A hardened drill will require... Okay, it's going to require a basic drill and then some diamonds. So let's get that done. So let's get some iron and some diamonds. So let's get the basic drill made. Now from the basic drill, I'm going to need a hardened drill. So for the hardened drill, I'm going to need some 3 reinforced metal, 2 hardened meshes, and a block of diamond. So I did create the crafting recipe for this. I'm going to need 2 hardened meshes and 3 reinforced metal once this is completed. Reinforced, 3 of those. Quite satisfied that I actually added the recipe to the Applied Logistics automatic crafting. I actually first thought not to do it, but then I changed my mind and I'm pretty happy that I did eventually. Let's create a recipe for a block of diamond. I'm going to need 2 of those, and I can make the hardened drill. And for the Galgadorian drill, I'm going to need 3 enhanced Galgadorian metal and 2 Galgadorian metal. So for 1 Galgadorian metal, I'm going to need a lamp of Galgador, which will require glowstone. You can see that the recipe to create it is kind of crazy. This is an extremely crazy recipe and extremely pricey. However, the drill itself pays off eventually. It mines in a very larger area. It's extremely convenient to use, and supposedly it's very fast. I actually haven't seen it, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna need... Okay, let's create the recipe for this. So for a lamp of Galgador, Galgador. I'm gonna need glowstone and eye of Galgador. Ooh, actually I don't know if I can craft it. I'm going to fermented spider eyes. For those I'm going to spider eyes. Spider eyes have no recipe. However, may have some. I have 38. I do not have a spider farm. I should have actually taken care of that at some point, but I don't. Let's just add the recipe manually. I should have some sugar available. Okay, I'm gonna need to create some recipes now. So let's do that. So let's take out my blank patterns and start doing things. So let's start with the fermented spider eye. So I'm going to mushroom and a spider eye. For mushroom, is there a recipe? It can come out of a fungal comb. No, the only way to get it is actually to grow it. And I think I'm out of mushrooms. Okay, so let's not create a fermented eye recipe. I'm simply gonna make as many as I can right now, add the recipe, but it's not actually gonna be very much viable, unfortunately. It feels very unlit here. Okay, so let's take out the spider eyes back outside, and I need some sugar. Just got whatever I got on me, so let's get as many spider eyes I can get. Okay. So for the eye of Galgador, I'm going to some magma cream, some gas tears. Ooh, the recipe is very pricey. Okay, I got some gas tears here. Got this on me. And I may want to actually go ahead and start farming some more ghasts in the Twilight Forest, which I haven't visited for a long time. And maybe even create a spawner out of them, and also a spawner for spiders. Okay, I'm gonna skip that for now. Okay, so for magma cream is relatively easy. Simply slime ball and blaze powder. Finally, there is a use for blaze powder that I've been collecting for so long. Slime balls, I don't think I have a way to automatically create, but I actually can do it now that I have propolis and pollen integrated. So let's actually get some propolis and pollen and integrate the crafting recipe for that, although it probably won't be necessary, but let's just do that. It's cost me nothing and uses a product that I don't really mind about. So in case I'm out of slime balls, I can craft some more and I can get rid of them. And let's create the recipe for a magma cream. Again, finally a use of all the blaze powder I've been macerating from to get the gunpowder product. So let's integrate that as well. And do I happen to have any magma cream? No, let's just craft some. So let's get one magma cream. And I think, yeah, I can, oh wait, the Eye of Ender. Some ender pearls and blaze powder. Again, ender pearls I don't have the recipe for. I actually don't have any at all. And blaze powder. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more ender pearls. Okay, just letting you guys know that I decided to instead farm them using my Sword of the Zephyr. I'm using my Vile Sword with the Soul Stealer of level 5. Mostly I want to start collecting their souls for potentially actually farming Endermen in the future. I really, at the moment, I have no idea on how I could even possibly do that. But for the time being I'm just collecting them. We'll see in the future if I'm going to actually do it or not, because right now it costs me nothing. I'm already here farming. It's a little bit slower because I don't have any treasure. I don't have looting on my Vile Sword, but you know what, it doesn't matter that much. So yeah. Alright, so it had taken me pretty much a full durability sword of Soul Stealer 5 to get a full soul shard. And for the time being I'm just gonna put it on the side, but we'll see, maybe eventually I'm gonna get to it and actually make a farm out of it. It's gonna be very useful. I'm starting to use a lot of ender pearls lately, and if I could automate the process entirely, that could be great actually. Alright, so let's get rid of things that's just filling up my inventory. And get back to business. Now I've taken most of the things out of my inventory to conserve some room for ender pearls, but let's just get back into things. So I'm gonna need some blaze powder and some more blank patterns again, and integrate the this thing into the recipe, the Eye of Ender. Okay, and insert it here as well. And now back to here. Okay, so I'm gonna need 3 Eye of Galgador. So for Eye of Galgador I can pretty much create a recipe. So I'm going magma cream, fermented ice spiders, Eye of Ender, and gas tears. All the things that are hard to get. So magma cream, and Eye of Ender. I don't have any ender pearls. Okay, so an Eye of Ender, and gas tear, and fermented spider eye. At the moment, 2 of those, basically this recipe is very complicated. I'm gonna need to, if I really want to fully automate this, it's gonna require some effort to actually get there. Actually, also gonna need some stabilized metal and some glowstone. So stabilized metal, I've got some on me, some glowstone, and I do believe the last part was a diamond block. Alright, yeah. Okay, so let's start with this. So the Eye of Galgador looks like this. Okay. So this, and this gives me the Eye of Galgador. And let's get it in here and actually create one. And just dump some of those things in here. And get an Eye of Galgador. And with that, can actually make this, which it requires to look like this. Okay, so this here, this here, the diamond block, and this gives me this recipe. And let's actually get some of those. So dump most of those things back inside here, and let's just, for the time being, just get one. So there we go, 2 of them actually. And for this I'm actually just going to need to get a large lamp of Galgador, which requires a lamp of Galgador. Okay, so for my lamp of Galgador I can make basically, how does it work? So to get, so to get the Galgadorian metal I'm going to smelt it first. There is some smelting and then even some more smelting. This is some really expensive stuff, like really expensive stuff. Okay, so with the Galgadorian metal, this is pretty much one product, but the other product is using this. So 9 lamp of Galgador like this gives me the large lamp of Galgador. So this gives me this. No, I may not be able to craft it at the moment, I think. Let's see, let's just craft one. It's gonna do some stuff. Seems like I can do it, I think. But crafting the actual full drill, I don't know if I have enough materials for. Okay. So I've got the lamp, and actually I'm going to another one, another lamp. Yeah, and now I may have a problem. Yep, no spider eyes, can't craft it. Okay, so this project will have to be delayed by simply I don't have the required materials. Unfortunately, I didn't actually plan through it completely. So before doing anything else, I'm going to start looking towards making a spider farm and an ender farm to get there. So unfortunately, it's kind of delayed at the moment. Should have planned ahead, but halfway there, and actually this is a project that I'm not going to delay too much, I want to complete it. Okay, just taking a quick look here, the farm. Yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well. I actually also off screen I changed the chunk loading area of this to a square instead of a line, and changed the radius to 4 to make sure that it covers the farm as well. And it does, so there's no problem there. Alright, so some side projects I actually wanted to do and is actually integrating two things. First, integrating the wood farm, my tree farm basically, and also integrating the leather and the meat into my applied logistics, just because I've already taken those cables all the way over here, so if it's already there, there's really no reason not to connect it, because it's just a little bit more convenient. So let's just give it a second. Let's think about it for a second. So let's start with the tree farm. So the tree farm, at the moment, it feeds itself back saplings, and the rest of the saplings get destroyed. I'm not really getting there. There is some really low drop chance of saplings, it seems. So basically, I think most of them basically spawn instead of being dropped. So this is why it looks like this. But it sustains itself for a nice amount of time. So for that, it's pretty good. All the logs at the moment are going into this ender chest, and all the excess is getting destroyed. Now, except for that, and then again, right here, I'm interfacing with another ender chest with the same color, and then I can pretty much interface with the wood into my system. I want to pretty much take that ender chest out of the equation, and also find another solution for what's going on here, to actually just directly push wood from my plant logistics again, because I already have the network available here. Like, the groundwork is already done, just need to connect it a little bit. So let's get started. It should be relatively simple. I'm going to need an ME interface to begin with. So let's get an ME interface and some cables, and I think for that it's pretty much done. Yeah, except for that it's very easy. So let's okay, so all the wood will be stored in the actual chest, so nothing should spill out, and nothing spills out. And I'm gonna need a tube, because I still want to filter out only wood into the system. I'm not interested in any saplings there as well. It's simply not necessary. So let's get the pneumatic tube and connect it just like this into here, and just connect this via a cable, and get rid of this the green ender chest by simply, actually I still have one more instance of the chest, so this shouldn't spill as well. Can get rid of this. Okay, so now at the moment I'm storing wood basically only in the ender chest, and it will start storing itself now from fresh basically into the system. So now it's available in the system. Let's get working on actually interfacing it in here. I can actually also interface the coal here instead of pulling it out of the white chest. I do have some cables over here going down below here and going there. Let's just pull some cables from here. It's gonna be a little bit ugly, but I don't really mind. Can actually do a couple of changes. I can change this directly to be an interface. I got to the point where I don't mind anymore how large the network is on terms of how much energy it consumes. I really have an infinite amount of lava, and I'm using it mostly to just sustain the system, so I don't really mind. At least I'm not at the point where I mind. I could actually use an import bus instead. Why am I doing this? Let's use an import bus. What am I doing? Import. And take this away from here, take this away, take this, make everything go away pretty much. If I break this ender chest, there will be some spillage, so I'm not going to yet. Okay, let me quickly clear some stuff and also get over the night. Okay, so actually if I just got rid of everything here, I think it will simply be easier to do it here. So let's have an input, two import buses right there, always on at a stack at a time. and right on top of it I can have my export buses. Actually, I didn't bring any export buses, but I do have the wireless entries, wireless interface here, so it's very convenient. 2 export buses is exactly what I need. On the top sides, this one will be dealing with birchwood. So one at a time, always on. And this one will be dealing with coal. One at a time, always on. They will be connected to each other. It kind of looks funny, but there is, to be honest, there is no other way to do it. And just connect it right over here. Let's draw a line over there. Okay, and do it like this. Done. This should now be placing birchwood inside. You can see it working. There is still some residual in this filter, and the same should be with the coal. So the coal is now being transferred from the system, and everything, all the byproduct, basically the coal coke, is being imported using those coke ovens. Those import buses. And now I can get rid of this, and let's do it in an orderly fashion. So let's do it like this. Let's place this interface, and I can store things that I don't need on me. Okay, and now take all the wood out as well. Do the same. Okay, that's how it looks when it's finished. So it looks, in my opinion, it looks cleaner. It definitely feels cleaner, and it also, again, the more timers that I remove from the world, the more filters that I remove from the world, the better I feel. I don't like those. Most of the red power things have their things with internal buffers, and sometimes those things can take a hit on FPS, and I really would like to avoid it when possible. Now, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure on how well Planet Logistics buses works, like if they also deal damage to your FPS. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. Just if I'm already doing it, let's just do it properly. Okay, now for integrating the leather and the meat, I'm gonna need some storage buses and just some more normal ME cables. And again, this is gonna be very similar to what I've done with the wool. Simply connect it like this with the storage buses and not pretty much else, just to make sure that if I need leather or meat, it's available through my system automatically. I'm considering on how to actually get this done. Simply, I think I'm gonna just brute force it and have it very ugly being set up right here. And by the way, this is something I knew, but actually somebody told me, and you should also keep that in mind. Whenever you connect something to your system, like whenever you add a new cable or a new ME interface or anything, basically anything to your system, to your applied logistics system, it causes your ME controller kind of to restart. And it obviously it makes sense, because if you add a new method to do something, the system should know about it. So basically every time you add a block, you force a restart. And this is also the reason why I had a problem with the recipes, with the seed oil recipes, that every time they were looping, like they were being created more and more, even though the previous one wasn't being done, because the system just resetted. It realizes that the block somewhere requires seed oil, so it just crafted seed oil, started crafting seed oil. So this is not a bad thing. However, when you do something like this, you just see that when you add an interface to a new thing, in my opinion, you should always try to add it from the end to the connection point. Don't do it the other way around, because then every time you add a new block, you force an update. So instead of forcing 20 updates, 20 resets or updates, or whatever you want to call them, I just forced one, because everything is set up, and then I just connect it at the last second, and basically then everything works. So just something to keep in mind, to be a little bit more conservative with your system, a little bit more giving. Also, one more thing, lately I've been noticing that I'm following my quartz count a lot, so I think it will be a good idea just to add 2 monitors to actually monitor those values instead of doing this all the time. All the time just coming here and opening this up and taking a look at this. So monitoring them instead will be, I think, a lot more convenient and a lot more time saving. So 2 conversion matrices, 2 monitors, I'm going to some quartz, 1 of each type, and the Omni wrench will do. So let's just place them right here, upgrade both of those, and track each one with the respective material and lock them. So now I can track both of those things without actually opening the interface, which I was doing quite often lately. Okay, so because I'm at the moment I have problems with some products of monsters. You can see right now I came back to the Twilight Forest, and right now the project that I'm missing are for the Galgador production. Right now the project I'm working towards is the Nether mining. So also all the sub-projects that come out of it, those are pretty much the things that I'm working on right now. So for the Galgadorian drill, pretty much the things that I'm missing right now are the Eye of Galgador recipes materials, which are gas tears and fermented ice spiders and ender pearls. So gas tears, I remember they are the ghasts of the leech towers or the maze towers in the Twilight Forest. So those are a potential solution for me. And for the fermented spider eyes, actually, I think potentially I could use the Twilight Forest. So I actually brought an empty soul shard, and I want to check whether or not I can. There are those hedge spider mazes. I want to check whether or not I can actually collect their souls. I don't think it's an obvious thing. I might not be able to, so I want to actually check it out. Waiting for one of them to spawn. Rather not collect a wolf soul. I want to try and collect a spider soul. And I could probably use the vanilla, not vanilla, saying vanilla is kind of wrong. I could probably use the default spawner for the spiders, but I really want to try and collect a soul shard spawner, because it's just easier to control. But for some reason that spawner refuses to spawn them. I'm not sure why. There's another one here. And I can't right click it, and I don't think I'll be able to until that soul shard is designated as a spider spawner shard. I need one of those to spawn. Why don't they spawn? This is actually very weird. Is it too dark for them or too unlit? Why don't they spawn? Okay, let's try to find another maze, another hedge maze. Wrong map. Okay, let's go to the northeast. Having a graviton suit in the Twilight Forest helps a ton. Okay, let's see if there's something here. Well, there should be a spawner, and there should be those spiders, but they simply don't spawn for some reason. I'm not sure why. Here's another. There we go. Okay, so one of them spawned. What? Okay, let's kill them. And I did not collect anything. Why am I not collecting their soul? I don't know. So I guess I cannot really... What? When you stun this, you get damaged? Oh, I guess pretty much this is the way to combat cheating in the maze, but when you've got flying, it's kind of silly. Okay, so I don't really see a viable solution for me in collecting their souls. They still drop eyes. This is a fact. So I could probably just use the vanilla spawner, but I don't really like using the vanilla spawner because it cannot properly being farmed. Like if I'm not nearby, it won't spawn anything, so that doesn't help anybody. So I'm probably gonna have to find a different solution for the spider eyes. And now for the actual gas tears, I want to also check it out. Now because I can't actually collect the spiders, I'm actually worried that I might not be able to collect the ghasts. So let's give that a try. I want to see if I can collect that as well. If I can gather their souls within a soul shard, even though the actual process of doing that will also be very hard and will take a long time. It's actually be better to know that I can actually do it. If I cannot capture their souls, I'm gonna have a problem with that recipe. At least I'm gonna have a problem to automate it, because it's pretty much the only way I can think about. Killing ghasts in the Nether will be one of the most annoying things to do. Okay, so usually within those towers, inside them, I remember there are ghasts, and usually they're at the top area. Even sometimes outside, I remember. There we go. This one is looking weird though. Yeah, this one isn't looking right. It's definitely a ghast, but this is not the ghast that I remember. Oh, I guess then maybe it was updated, because they did seem to say work in progress on all of them, so I guess they weren't intended to be the way they looked, but let's see if I can capture these guys. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Again, they drop gunpowder and they drop tears, but if I cannot collect their souls, I cannot properly farm them. So, okay, so this is also relevant. So I may have a problem with this, at least in the automation part of this. Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna also look into making an Enderman trap. This is something which is more viable, because obviously I can collect their souls. I already got the soul shard. I'm about to run out of juice for my suit. So it's a lot more viable, because I can obviously collect their souls, and I have, but I'm still going to need to figure out a way to actually create a trap. So yeah. Alright, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.